All right, everybody, welcome into the third edition of the Natty State Sports Gambling Show, where the picks are sure to go wrong, at least for some of us. Some of us are luckier than others, but I am John Neighbors, alongside Andrew Ellis, Scotty Bordelin, and Curtis Wilkerson. And even though the Razorbacks are letting us down, hopefully our bank books will not when it comes to sports betting, although not feeling great about it, though, either way. So lots of stuff, though, besides the Razorbacks to get into. We know NFL playoffs are here and got some other things, too. So, Andrew, we'll start with you, my man. Like, what are some of the bets that you're feeling right now?
Well, it's a pretty horrifying proposition that the Arkansas basketball season has gone down the drain, and so now we're only depending on our ability to sports gamble, which we have confirmed we are not that great at. But, it's been an interesting week. It's better than last week so far. I missed on a few NBA picks, pretty much all the ones I gave out on the show. But Chet Holmgren had a bounce-back performance last night, so I was just a day early. But some NBA has been doing okay, but I got all my eyes on this NFL stuff this weekend, so I'm really looking forward to diving in a little bit. Only 2 games, but we'll have plenty to talk about. But I'm cautiously optimistic. How about that, John? I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay, well, I'm cautiously optimistic. After last night where I did hit my Razorbacks, Ole Miss minus 4.5, and as well as hitting the under. So I'm feeling pretty lucky.
You've actually been doing pretty good, honestly. Like just in,
Yeah, I wish I could do
predicting stuff.
Like if my dating life was the same, it'd be great. I'm hoping I can keep it up. But Scotty, what about you, man?
I'm torn right now between picking and betting Patrick Mahomes or betting Lamar Jackson.
That is the thing, isn't it?
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
that's the ultimate question.
Why couldn't this be the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's just be last week, I gave that 3-leg parlay where I had the Thunder and then Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown and the Bills just straight up to win at home against the Chiefs. I think I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes anymore. I'm just not. I've lost too much this year already and last year betting against the Chiefs, their offense, which, I mean, they screw around on offense, especially during the regular season. They screwed around so much. I'm having trouble pulling up Saracen on my laptop. I'm just going to do it on my phone.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think like right as soon as we started, the bet Saracen went down. Because
I literally got the "we don't have this in your country" message.
Yeah, well, even on the app on the phone, it's not working. So I'm like, this is great. What do I start?
From memory, I remember looking at my laptop screen, and the Chiefs are +4 at Baltimore.
You are correct on that.
And there it is.
So somehow I've got the touchdown scorers for that game pulled up, and maybe if I hit refresh, it'll cite, but I'm just not going to touch anything. I've got the touchdown scorers if we
just
need
leave it. Yeah, just leave it where it's at.
I think early. I mean, I know it's only Thursday and the game's not till Sunday. My mind could obviously flip-flop a million times between now and then. I love Lamar Jackson. I think this could be maybe a legacy-defining game for him, or one of the games that will go into determining his legacy. Would be huge for him to beat Patrick Mahomes. I'm not betting against the Chiefs anymore.
I'll bet against him. I'll bet against him, Scotty.
Go for it.
I don't know why, but I will. I'm kind of excited for these NFL playoff games this weekend. It'll be good. Obviously, I'm kind of the college hoops guy around here.
So we've been told.
I will throw this out there though. On the last show, look, what I put out there, it didn't all hit. But I put out 4 underdog college basketball picks, and I said I guarantee you one of them hits. One of them hit.
Hey,
all right, so I gave you that much. Now,
you called it.
I was really hyping up Georgia Tech. That didn't work out. But Texas got it done at Oklahoma. I feel good about that. The parlays, they didn't hit. But listen, did any of us really expect South Carolina to beat the crap out of Kentucky the way they did? Like I can't control.
I was hoping we didn't talk about that game.
I didn't say it, but I was like, yeah, they're gonna win. I never told anybody about it, but yeah,
that got me. Other than that, I feel like I had a pretty good day. So I got it's kind of a light slate here. Towards the end of the week for college hoops. So I got a couple parlays that I think will be interesting for Arkansas fans. I think they might appreciate it. I also got an NBA special that I need to throw at these 2 cats. I need you guys to hear me out on it. I feel confident.
Well, hey, the key for this show is we're going to mention so many different lines. We're going to just say a lot of things. Don't listen to us and expect us to guide you to the promised land. But what we can do is just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall. Some of it's going to stick.
Make
like
your
Curtis
own
said,
informed decisions.
You got your 4 underdogs. listen, obviously we're not going to be right on all these. Will we be right on any of these? Who knows? But if you really want, maybe you just fade us. Maybe just use us as your fade. But Scotty, you said you didn't want to bet against Mahomes. Me and Curtis will be betting against Mahomes this weekend.
Sir.
We're huge Ravens guys, huge Lamar. I mean, what are we doing
I
here?
totally get it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm going
get
to
it.
throw something, an idea your way, because that's what we do here on this show. I think the 49ers beat the Lions. They're -7 right now. I think that number we saw last week, is maybe a little bit high. And
Yeah.
the Lions played a lot better in the divisional round than they did in the wild card round. But I still think if you're very confident in the Chiefs, Scotty, I have a teaser idea for you. 49ers -1, Chiefs +10. You can get that at -105. Those two things teased together. You just need the 49ers to win outright, and you need the Chiefs to not get blown out. The Ravens have been playing really good defense. I mean, their defense is probably the best in the league, so I think there's maybe a little bit of blowout potential. We just saw them beat Houston pretty bad, but I think the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, you talk about not betting against them. If you can't keep it within double digits, I mean, what are we doing here?
Right.
And so I think if you're like me and you think the 49ers are going to win, although I do love Dan Campbell, so I don't really want to bet against the Lions just straight up. But if you think they're, also I'm willing to bet that, with the stipulation being the way I don't win it is if Lamar beats the crap out of Patrick Mahomes, which I will enjoy, or Dan Campbell beats the 49ers outright, which I would also enjoy. So if anyone views it similarly to us, then I think that's a teaser that I kind of like. I think that the Ravens are going to win, but I like it.
Man, I don't know, because I'm with actually Scotty on Kansas City and Baltimore, because
Split decision here.
But again, it's like I'm also with Scotty, where it's like, man, if somebody's betting Baltimore, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's just a terrible bet. It's a terrible bet. But I will say, though, there's four teams left in the playoffs in both NFC and AFC title games. Each one of these teams I have bet on at some point in time this year, had more success than others, except for one team. I have never bet on the Lions, because I kept thinking it was going to be the same Lions at some point. They're going to fall on their face. They're going to lose in the playoffs, all of that. So it's probably going to come
your
back.
kneecaps.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they say?
That's right. Yeah.
They gnaw at your kneecaps.
But after seeing Frank Ragnow out there with a sprained knee and a sprained ankle, I'm like, I ain't betting against this team anymore. So I will say,
Can't bet against Dan Skipper.
or Dan Skipper, as long as he ain't tripping anybody. But I am going to go with, in this one, I'm going to bet on Detroit. Now, not going with the money line, but I got them at +7. I'm done betting against them. I really think that they are a team that, again, I'm not saying that they'll beat San Francisco, but they're going to give San Francisco all that they want. This team may be the team of destiny, as you will. And also, I would love to see the Lions in the Super Bowl. That'd be
awesome.
such
Oh
a
my
cool
God, it would
thing.
be so good.
As a beleaguered Jets fan, I'm rooting for the other beleaguered franchises out there, because it gives me hope. So that's kind of my thing, where I'm going with the Chiefs at +3.5, but I'm also going with the Lions at +7. So I'm going with the underdogs in this
Listen, so if you take the road underdogs against the spread, so Chiefs +4, Lions +7.5, you parlay that +264.
That's sexy.
Or I guess if you wanted to, you
spice
could
there.
do Chiefs +10 with that teaser, and then have like the Lions at like +13. You can go the other way with the teaser I threw out there. I mean, there's no shortage of options.
Yeah, John, I think I'm with you on that one, man, because, I went with the Lions to take care of business and cover last week. They did that. But I also went 49ers. I thought they were going to roll Green Bay, and I got burned on that. So, I'm sticking with what's worked and not what hasn't. So, I like the Lions to cover there. I do.
Before we really turn our attention to this Ravens game, which is, that's the cooler game. Let's
It's
be
the
honest.
cooler
Between
game.
the
Yes,
two
it is.
games,
Yes, it
it's by
is.
far the cooler
Yeah,
game.
100%.
Better quarterback matchup.
I want
for
to
sure.
throw a few numbers that I was noticing here. Brock Purdy. What do y'all think the odds are on Brock Purdy to throw one interception?
I have no idea.
It's +105.
Really?
+105.
Just to throw one pick.
Just to throw one pick. His over-under 0.5, +105 for the over. I think that's interesting, or at least that's what it was last night when I was scrolling these things in bed.
I like that.
That is interesting.
I think that's interesting, and I think Goff was minus like 125 to throw a pick as well. Saracen last night would not let me same game parlay those things, but if they do between now and then, I would love to see what the odds are, and just both of those quarterbacks who are very volatile, especially Goff. I love Goff. I've been defending Goff for a while, but he's extremely volatile. Honestly, if I could bet Goff fumble, I think I would do that. Goff fumbles every game. Him and Lamar,
Yeah.
honestly, Lamar doesn't always lose them, but Lamar gets sacked and the ball goes on the ground at least once a week. But Sam Laporta, you guys familiar with Sam Laporta? Y'all
Yep.
been
Yep.
yeah. Sam Laporta's been doing some good work for the Lions. Kind of emerged. Him and Amon or St. Brown are kind of their leading their passing game. Neither of those guys, if I'm correct, caught a touchdown last week. Sam Laporta is plus 175 to catch a touchdown. I think he had like 8 receptions in that game. He was dominant, but he did not catch a touchdown. Plus 175 to catch a touchdown or score a touchdown anytime in this game. Amon or St. Brown's plus 135. I think both of those guys are kind of if the Lions are going to have a chance in this game, and even if they're playing from behind, they're going to be airing it out a lot. I like both of those guys to score touchdowns.
I want to say real quick, got Saracen to load back up.
Yep.
So
There we go.
we're talking about Kansas City and Baltimore. They have Detroit at plus 7.5.
Yeah.
That half
And
point's a game changer.
That's a huge, and
Yeah, that
also
matters.
Kansas City at plus 4. So
Yeah.
you're talking about a pretty different. I mean, half point is
Yeah.
a lot,
Well,
especially in that Lions and 49ers game.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
the point in the Chiefs Ravens game, the difference between 3 and 4 here is massive. I feel like
Yeah.
general rule of thumb in the NFL, home team favored by 3 is typically kind of where it is. So if you feel like the Ravens are better, you're moving it. That extra point kind of psychs me out a little bit. I feel like 4.5 to 5.5 is kind of the Vegas zone where like nobody feels great about their bet at that range. Like 7, I would almost feel better betting the 49ers at -7 than I would at -5.5 because 5.5 is just such a weird number.
Yeah.
But by the way, Amon or St. Brown, 84.5 receiving yards. That's a lock for me. I think he's going over in that one. Again, for the same reasons, like even if they're losing, they're going to be throwing a lot. I think they will be losing. Amon or St. Brown, I don't think he hit that last game, but he gets targeted like 15 times every week for them. So I think if he doesn't get in, and in the playoffs, we're in the conference titles, you're going to ride your dudes. You're going to go to your studs. I like all of the number one options for these teams. I like all of their overs. So like Travis Kelce, Zay Flowers, Amon or St. Brown. You know, with the 49ers, they have like 9 different options there. But I think Christian McCaffrey, I mean, it'd be hard not to like whatever he's got going on. His numbers are very high, though. But I think in the conference title game, you got to ride with your dudes. So I like Amon or St. Brown and Sam Laporta. If you parlay those guys to both score a touchdown, it'd be plus 600.
Dude,
Wow.
you said Sam Laporta the first time, and my mind immediately went kicker.
Not a kicker. Nope.
That is a
Tight
very
end.
kicker name.
like,
It's a
oh.
very kicker name.
Hey, if you want to run it back with a Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown, plus 120. He didn't score once on the ground last week. He scored twice on the ground last week. I was telling you, those fresh legs, he had them. He had those fresh legs on. I wonder if I feel like the Chiefs are a little susceptible to Josh Allen running a bit last week. Lamar Jackson, from what I hear, is pretty fast.
Good at running.
Yeah, he is.
Pretty
Yeah.
elusive.
Did you know who coached him in college?
Yeah, Petrino made him.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He
Lamar
is who he
Jackson
is
was a
today because of
nobody.
Bobby P.
That's right. That's right. Bobby Petrino is the reason
Bobby
why.
P, he whispered in his ear and he said, outrun all of these guys and be really good. And find the open guy whenever everyone's looking at you.
And throw the ball well.
The QB whisperer.
Yes. I was a little surprised, too, to see Kansas City, Baltimore over under at 44.5.
About to
Well, so
ask
there
about
might
that.
be some rain in this one. And
Still,
also,
man, that's a. But those two quarterbacks, like, surely one of those teams is going to score 30. I feel like.
You know, we were
One
kind
of
of
those
on the
teams are gonna
under for Kansas City and Buffalo last week for a lot of valid reasons, but they smashed that over. And yeah, I kind of look at that, and that's a lower number. I think that game last week was like 45.5 or 46.5 or something. Yeah, this is at 44.5. Lamar. And,
I think we need to keep an
Andrew's
eye on the
talking
weather,
about
though.
like, you know, rolling with the hot guys. I don't know. I couldn't.
we got to
I
roll with
couldn't-
the hot guys.
I couldn't
big
think of a
hot
better
guys.
way to say that. I was trying to avoid saying you got to ride your guys, which is what you said earlier, but I kind of doubled down and made it worse. So, but you get what I'm rolling with here.
I've got some. Can I throw some Lamar Jackson information at you guys?
Sure.
Bring it.
I've been betting. Shout out to my best friend Michael Beck. One of my he sends me. He has some picks actually that I'm going to share later on the show. But me and him have been betting Lamar Jackson longest rush props all year. His longest rush over under is 17.5. He has hit that in 4 straight games. The previous 4, he did not hit it. He didn't. It's been a wild ride for
I
this
know
prop.
last week it was like 23, I think.
Yeah, he always breaks off a big run. Whenever they played the 49ers over, I guess that was Christmas break, he ripped off like a 30-yard run in the fourth quarter to cash it, and it was electric. Lamar Jackson is fun with the ball in his hands. He's fun when he's in the pocket. This is the bet that you take hoping that he breaks one, which is there's just nothing more fun. Over 17.5, that's not even that long of a run. Another thing, if his over-under for rushing yards is 64.5 total, call me crazy. I know I just said he's going to have a run over 18 yards. I think you could maybe, if you wanted to be bold here, you could bet the over on the longest rush and under on the rushing yards. I feel like you don't lose both of those.
Yeah, that
you know what I
makes
mean? If he's
sense.
going to have
Yeah.
a 20-yard run, he's probably going to have over 65
Find a
yards.
good middle ground.
And then you can, there's like a little bit of room there for you to middle it. Also, Lamar's combined offense, passing and rushing yardage, 277.5 at minus 115. That seems extremely high to me. Now, we talked about these offenses maybe due for a little bit of a breakout, but let's say that the Ravens win this game. We'll say they win it 24-20. I think it's going to be a ball control type of, they get up early and they're not trying to do anything crazy. I actually like Lamar's under in that one. So if you're a Lamar hater and you hate listening to me talk about how cool he is, bet that under. If you think the Ravens are going to win, I kind of like that under too, because they're not going to be airing the ball out. We mentioned the weather earlier. I kind of like that one. And Lamar over 1.5 passing touchdowns is plus 145. Again, maybe some rain. Who knows how this works out? And that's kind of a little bit of a crapshoot anyway. But I think that's some interesting value there for a guy that has thrown 2 touchdowns a lot.
Are y'all surprised that the total on points, like it feels like the Kansas City-Baltimore game should have 51.5 points instead of 44.5. Like I feel like the like Lions-Niners should maybe have 44.5.
See, but it's a little deceptive here because the Lions defense stinks out loud, and the Ravens defense is really good. And the 49ers offense is, it's crazy. We always think of the Kansas City Chiefs as like this explosive offense. The 49ers offense has been creating explosive plays at an alarming rate, like crazy rate. They throw screen passes that go for 60. And like in the NFL, you watch these games, not a ton of huge plays unless it's like a special talent.
They look like they were shaking off a little rust or something last weekend too, Like I think they're due to.
And, I'm a Brock Purdy disbeliever. I do not believe in that young man at all. But I do believe in Kyle Shanahan. I believe in Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. I believe in the situation. And so I think this is going to be one of those games where the 49ers roll and they don't have to ask Brock Purdy to do much. Again, as a Lamar guy, I would love to see him face off with Jared Goff in the Super Bowl. I would love it. I would love it personally for Dan Campbell and the Lions. I just have a hard time seeing the 49ers not playing really well in this game. Look, the Ravens defense is disgusting. So it's like if they hold this, we've seen this Chiefs offense struggle. If the Chiefs get held to like 13 points, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm going to be honest with you. Obviously Patrick Mahomes is a great talent. I'm not doubting these guys. Andy Reid's the man, but I think that Ravens defense is absolutely legit. I think that the Ravens are the best team in the NFL. I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I think they're gonna beat up the Chiefs. But I don't know. We'll see.
It'll be a great time for the Harbaugh family.
Yeah.
National championship and a Super Bowl. It's like,
how about that? And a new job.
Yeah, and a new job. Man, no way.
Big week for the Harbaughs.
I'm telling you, they're killing it. So I did want to throw these in too because I know there's a lot of other stuff, but some of the futures that I really liked, at least looking ahead, and I was not surprised by it, but you talk about never betting against the Chiefs, which, it's something that really makes sense. But right now on Saracen, you can get the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl at plus 400. And compared to the 49ers, as well as the Ravens, who are the overwhelming favorites in that, they're plus 400 and the Lions are at plus 800. So if you're feeling one of the underdogs to win the Super Bowl, you can get some really great odds there too. And again, the Lions, whatever, but the Chiefs, Mahomes, 2 Super Bowls, Andy Reid, 2 Super Bowls, but like that, I feel like that's a really good future for
the Chiefs are
Chiefs.
what, plus 170 this week? Plus 160 in that range?
Plus 170.
Yeah,
if they win, they're going to be like plus 130 next week. So it's like, I agree with you, John, where like if you think the Chiefs are going to win this week, you might as well go ahead and place that Super Bowl one just because I think that odds-wise you're probably going to be in good shape there. Let me ask y'all this. Where do we stand on Travis Kelce these days? We pro Kelce or are we anti?
I'm pro.
Pro Kelce.
Pro Kelce. I'm also pro Kelce.
Yeah.
I'm pro T Swift as well, just for the record.
She's fine.
Of course.
Yeah, we don't have to get into it here, but Travis Kelce over 61.5. Guys, we feed the studs.
Yeah.
We feed the studs around here. He had a huge game last week, and I believe he caught 2 touchdowns, or maybe it was that the week before. It doesn't matter. Travis Kelce is going to have at least 62 receiving yards. He'll probably have 100. So let's just go ahead. Let's feed the studs.
We need to stick with feed the studs instead of the other stuff we've been saying, I think.
Feed the hot guys is what we were saying earlier. Yeah, we
Ride
probably
our
don't need to-
guys. Yeah.
Ride the studs.
Yeah. Feed the studs. There we go.
Yeah, interesting. Zay Flowers is another one I mentioned. I mentioned feeding the studs. Over 44.5 receiving yards for the Ravens' best receiver. OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. Ever heard of him? Gonna talk about hot guys. Odell Beckham Jr. over 20 and a half receiving yards. That's one reception.
Yeah, that's one.
That's
one
that's
nice
two
catch,
grabs,
yeah.
man. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's gonna be raining, and I think the Ravens are gonna win and be in control, but OBJ, he has not fallen from grace that far. He has fallen from grace, but not that far. He can get 21 receiving yards in the AFC title game. I should mention Marlon Humphrey is questionable. It's the only information regarding injuries I could find. Ravens' best corner. Y'all remember Marlon Humphrey? I think he wears number 44 for the Ravens, which is kind of stupid for a corner that's really good. But he's questionable. But I want to ask y'all this. There's some Saracen specials for like just the whole weekend. All teams to score 2+ field goals. Plus 800 for every team to just kick 2 field goals. You feel good about that? Keep in mind, we've got the best kicker of all time,
Is
Justin
it kicking
Tucker.
or making them?
It's making them. It's making 2+ field goals made.
No. And the only reason is because you mentioned like the rain in that
Yeah.
game. Like anytime weather's involved.
We would so miss this because Justin Tucker would miss a kick.
Yes.
And he'd be like
Right.
the second one.
And he'd be the one that you would not think would miss one. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah,
Right.
that'd be brutal.
What
I don't know.
about what about all teams to score 2 touchdowns, John?
I would. Now, what's the odds on that?
Plus 150. Not as
I was about
not
to
as
say.
steep.
I was like, I'd say if it was plus 800, give me that right now.
You could also do touchdown and a field goal.
I like that one.
That one's good. So just
Yeah.
every team to score like 10 points.
Yeah.
Plus 150. Kind of going off the same thing. We talked about Justin Tucker. Over 7.5 points for him. I love it.
Over. Yeah.
2 field goals.
Come on.
2 field goals, 2 touchdowns. Ravens
Yeah.
score, what would that be? 27 points? 20 points? If the Ravens score 20, Justin Tucker's probably hitting that. I like that.
Yeah.
Michael Badgley, the Lions kicker. This one's a little bit, this is minus 125, but over 5.5. I mean, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, come on.
He's also plus 155 to make 2 field goals. You know,
I'm taking that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
taking
like
that.
both of those, but I think the 5.5, like, there's so many routes they could get there. I mean, 3 touchdowns, a field goal, 2 field goals, 1 field goal, 3. You know, there's
Where else are you getting NFL kicker props like this? You know, where,
We've got the
where else
kickers
you getting
wild.
this?
we've got
We
the kickers covered, and we've even
Yeah.
got Sam Laporta, who is not a kicker but sounds like a kicker. We
Exactly.
even got
No,
him
I
covered.
think
That's
there's,
right.
I think there's some definite value in taking, a prop with a kicker. You watched the Chiefs Bills last week. I mean, there were times where I'm just like, like the Chiefs are driving. This is like they're rolling, got momentum. All of a sudden, the drive just stalls out at like 26, 27 yards.
Takes like one sack
and
changes everything.
Takes one sack and you're kicking field goals. That happened several times for both teams.
If Jared Goff, on his gravestone, it will say, drive stalled at the 28-yard line, settled for a 45-yard field goal. That's what it's going to say on his grave. He took a huge sack on third and whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
But and I like Jared Goff, but I think the 49ers defense is good. I think there's plenty of room for the Lions to stall in the red zone in this game. Last thing I have, y'all familiar with a young man named Gus Edwards, thick running back for the Ravens. His over-under for total longest rush is 11.5. I am smacking this under as hard as I possibly can. If you see a picture of Gus Edwards, you will agree with me. He's not a horrible running back, but one, he's being a little bit Justice Hill. They kind of like him a lot. I think there's a path to Justice Hill getting more of the carries for the Ravens, but Gus Edwards is not going to have a 12-yard run unless he just is completely lost. Unless the defense is a breakdown. And I believe it or not, I know we have Lamar going for 18. It's hard to run for 12 yards in the NFL on one play.
Speaking of Gus Edwards, just that way we don't get too far forward. Forget. I don't know if you did too on Saracen. Travis Kelce and Gus Edwards to both have a first half touchdown.
John, I love that because I do think
'Cause
Gus
that's what
Edwards
I'm
will
betting
score
on.
a touchdown because he.
Do you want
fat.
to know
boy.
the odds?
Thick.
Let's hear it,
Plus 1,500.
dude. Everybody
What?
right now
Wow.
should be
I'm smashing it.
that.
Wow.
Smashing it. Plus
Oh,
1,500 for Travis Kelce and Gus Edwards both to score a first half touchdown.
Smack that all on the floor. Smack that. Give me some more. Smack that till you get sore, John. You know the song?
Yeah.
You do
it's
know
called
the
Smack
song?
That. Yeah.
Just making
Akon.
sure we're on the same page.
Is Akon, right?
I saw Curtis's confusion out of the corner of my eye. I could tell he was not familiar with the tune.
Is it worth
No, I'm familiar with the
familiar
tune.
with
I just wish you would have sung, say it with your chest.
Yeah, about to say
if
you
you're
are
gonna
the
do it.
songbird of our generation. remember?
Exactly.
Yeah, you're. Yeah, so
Listen,
is $50 on that stupid?
No,
Because that's
it's
what I'm
not
throwing down.
stupid.
That's what I'm throwing down.
Wow.
no,
50,
dude,
50
go
to
ahead and
800,
smack that one.
50 to 1. Yeah. All right. I'm doing it.
Travis Kelce. I mean, come on.
I'm feeling good right now. I'm on a roll with my bets.
Also, I have one. Well, no, go ahead, Scotty. Whatever you're gonna say, I'll save
I
mine.
was wondering if anybody was interested in Joel Embiid's points.
You can always
for
talk me into
tonight.
Joel Embiid.
This will be his first game out again since he put up 70 a few nights ago against the Spurs. His over-under on points, 36.5.
Not a ton of margin for error there. But I do like, speaking of that game, there are 3 NBA underdogs, or road.
So nobody's interested in the Embiid.
I'm
thing.
interested
We
in
can move
Embiid,
on.
but
Y'all
I mean,
just move on.
36.5.
Move on.
It's a high number.
What's
I mean,
he averaging?
He
Like,
did score
about
70.
that?
He's averaging 36.
Averaging 36.
Shoot, I'll take it.
I wonder how
I
that
ain't
came up with
sleeping
that
on-
number.
I ain't sleeping on Embiid.
See, the only thing
I
is,
mean, he
like,
scored 70 the other night, so it's like, I mean,
Who are they playing again?
You could always talk me into that.
They're playing the Pacers. Pacers
Oh,
don't play defense.
Halliburton's out, by the way.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, see, I suck at betting in general, but like for some reason, every time I bet the NBA, I've been awful, like absolutely awful.
Basketball
maybe I
in
need to get
general, I
back
feel like
into
is
it.
a really tough sport
Yeah.
to.
You really going to count on Miles Turner?
Hell no.
No, not
No,
gonna
I
count.
know.
If
I
you
know.
have
Miles
a
Turner.
star player playing the Pacers, take the over on those.
The Pacers do give
Absolutely.
up. The Pacers score a lot, but they certainly give up a lot. But
Yeah.
Scotty, I do like Philly -5 in that game because Halliburton is out, and I love Tyrese Halliburton. So I'm convinced he's the straw that stirs the drink.
Sure.
Why do I always say these phrases that I don't know how they go?
I don't
like
know.
I
I don't
start
know,
them and just
man.
don't know how they end.
These Sixers points numbers, these points over-unders are crazy. And it's
What's Maxey at?
Maxey's at 29.5.
Oh, under on that one. Smack that under, actually. I've been betting Maxey a lot, and I like Maxey. I don't think he's going to score 30 tonight.
I don't know. Like, I could see Embiid going for 40 and Maxey going for 30 against the Pacers.
Yeah, but the thing is, could they blow the Pacers out? They're at Indiana.
Could.
But no, I like Philly to win on the road. I like Denver to win on the road at New York, and I like Sacramento Kings to win on the road at Golden State. The Warriors, stick a nail in the Warriors, dude. I've watched the Warriors a weird
Yeah.
amount this year. Moody is out, by the way, not playing tonight. He's got a calf injury, I believe. I like all those road favorites.
Was that one of the specials tonight?
Was what?
Hang on. Okay, so who did you have there? Say that again. One more
Philly,
time.
Denver, and Sacramento.
Philly, Denver, and
Did
Sacramento.
I accidentally align with a Saracen special?
Maybe. Let me see if I can pull it up here because I was looking at those just a
no,
while
you
ago.
didn't. You got
didn't
close.
quite.
Though. You got close though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dang. Who's the
Oh,
other
yeah.
one? Who was the
Yeah,
actual one?
So you got the 76ers, T-Wolves, and Warriors at
Yeah.
plus 400 to all win.
Who are the T-Wolves playing? But the T-Wolves played last night. I don't like teams on back-to-backs.
You also have Lakers, Celtics, and Knicks all to win the first half at plus 400. And then the Nuggets, Kings, and Lakers all to win at plus 420.
Okay, I like the Nuggets, Kings, and Lakers because I also like the Lakers -5 at home against Chicago. The Lakers have to win tonight. They kind of have to. LeBron is a game-time decision once again. Every time he's a game-time decision, he plays. I think he's gonna get a little injection of that HGH, and we're gonna get peak GOAT James tonight.
I want to. Since we're talking about NBA players here, I want to throw
Okay.
something at you guys because I usually don't bite on these Hogs in the NBA specials. But I looked at them today, and they got 2 for Daniel Gafford. Okay, one of them is score 11 plus points, which he's averaging I think about 10.5, 10.6, reasonable, and to have 2+ assists. He's averaging 1.5, and so reasonable, plus 300, whatever. Okay. The other one, though, plus 800 odds, okay? Daniel Gafford to score 11 plus points. We just talked about that. That's 1 point, a half point, whatever, above his average. And to have 7+ rebounds, which is right at his average. The kicker is the Wizards have to win.
But
Okay?
they're playing somebody winnable, right?
Well, 2 things. They're playing the Jazz, who've been playing well.
yeah.
But I'm wondering, because the Wizards just fired their coach. So do they get that first game after bump? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
That's
that's
a
a real
great
thing.
call.
I don't know if it's enough to beat the Jazz, but it might be enough for me to look at that and say,
By the
shoot,
way,
plus
Laurie
800, why
Markkinen,
not?
who we talked about on last show, if anytime he's connected to Daniel Gafford, he's getting put in the rim. Every
Also
single
true.
time. I like Laurie Markkinen, but Daniel Gafford's going to put him in the rim at least 4 times.
Is that a home game? Or are they at
It is.
Utah?
It's in Washington, I'm
It's in
pretty sure.
Washington?
I think so.
If it's in Washington, then I like it.
Yeah, the Jazz are way better at home. Like way
Yeah.
better at home. And I think their run lately, they have been playing good, but I think it's a little bit, they're due for a little bit of regression. I have something to throw at y'all. And
All
this
right.
came courtesy of my boy Michael Beck, who I referenced earlier. Did y'all know there's a big game in the women's basketball realm tonight?
I was not aware.
There is a massive game. It might be the most watched women's basketball game of all time tonight, actually.
Iowa LSU.
It is South Carolina LSU.
Dang it. Okay.
Which I mean, yeah, same thing.
I
but
started with Caitlin Clark, but I got you.
No, yeah, I mean, well, in that game, I think was the current most watched
Right.
Iowa LSU, but LSU, the Lady Tigers with Kim Mulkey are at home tonight against South Carolina, number 1, who I believe is undefeated. LSU is plus 9.5. That's pretty crazy, right?
Really?
Angel Reese, Kim
Really?
Mulkey, plus 9.5.
I think South Carolina
home.
beats the hell out of them.
You think so?
Well, so does apparently the
Yeah.
people who set these odds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to say, because Saracen has that plus 7.5. So if you get at 9.5,
Well,
that's
dang,
big time.
it must have moved literally because I literally checked it like an hour and a half ago. It was-
Oh, okay. About to
on
say, I'm checking it
Saracen?
now. Yeah, it's on Saracen. It's at plus
Okay, well
7.5
then
right
everyone
now.
listening, hurry up and do it right
Yeah,
now. You
'cause
got to
you
get
know
it at
where the money's
7.5. What's the money line? It was plus 325 when I checked earlier. What is it now?
Plus 210 for LSU.
Okay, everyone, Vegas is on to us. Hurry up, sprint, put in LSU money line, LSU spread. Kim Mulkey beats them at home. Tickets are going for like $200 at this game, which is crazy because they're gonna have more people at this game than they've had for any men's game in the last like 20 years. That's gonna be awesome. NHL, I've got the Nashville Predators money line. I'm told by Michael that they control the crease well.
Okay.
So,
I was about to say, what do you know about some hockey? You know what's cool about the,
The
Nashville
Predators control the
They
crease.
throw catfish on the ice.
bet their money line.
I don't know
who
why
they're
they
playing.
do it, but they do it.
Bet their money line.
Yeah.
I like it. I like all these bets, actually. That's why we do this.
Right.
So we
I'm
can make
sure
a lot
all
of
these
money.
are going to hit.
No, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'm not going to
Absolutely.
lose any money on this. We're all
By
gonna
the
be
way, we
making
don't
money.
have a line for Arkansas, Kentucky yet, right?
No.
Do we want to make some?
Bet Kentucky. Doesn't matter. Just
Do y'all
bet
want to
it.
It doesn't
bet?
matter.
Do y'all want to make some predictions on what the line is going to be? I think we talked about this last night a little bit. I think it's going to be Kentucky minus 8.5.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I'm
and
going
take
to bet on
Kentucky and the
Kentucky to
points.
cover
yeah.
that.
See,
I was thinking Kentucky 9.5.
No, I'm gonna go 6.5 minus
You
6.5.
think the Bud Walton bump is coming?
No, because I think there's gonna be some weird stuff. It's like the Tremont Mark situation, the Bud Walton situation,
Yeah.
the
Trevor
Kentucky
Brazile
situation, yeah, the
situation.
Trevor Brazil situation. I think that they may try to play it a little bit safe and kind of go with that just to see. But I think eventually
if
it's
it opens double digits, I won't be
oh,
surprised.
but I
whatsoever.
won't touch it. If it opens double digits, as far as
Yeah.
Kentucky side, I ain't touching that.
I'm probably not going to touch it anyway, just because I don't want to be financially invested in this basketball game at all. But it's hard not to like Arkansas. If you can get Arkansas, or it's hard not to like any team playing against Arkansas.
Yeah,
about to
I
say
mean,
that.
with
What
the
the
money
hell
I
are you
won
talking
last
It's
about?
hard
Yeah.
not like if you can bet against Arkansas single digits. I feel like it's tough to pass that up, but I don't know. Arkansas at Bud Walton. Who would have thought that Arkansas could be a double digit underdog in Bud Walton Arena against anyone? Like against the freaking Chicago Bulls, I wouldn't even think they would be 10-point underdogs, but here we
Where
are.
they're at. Their average margin of defeat in SEC play in these 5 games is 20.6 points.
It's a lot of
Like
points.
they're
They're about to play, and they haven't even played a good team yet.
exactly.
they played one, and they
They
lost by.
haven't seen anything like this Kentucky offense yet.
Oh no, yeah, they might. Kentucky might come into Bud and score 100.
They might.
Yeah, because what's the
very
new
well might do it.
7-footer guy? What's his name for Kentucky that they
Big
brought
Z.
in?
Big Z.
Yeah.
Him, like, with him being and Jalen Graham are going to go up against each other. It's
Can't wait.
like seeing them try to rebound each other.
Or Bay Fall or whoever they throw out there at center for this game.
I guess we'll still
smash
we'll
the Bay
still,
Fall overs.
We'll still have props tomorrow, I guess, right?
Yeah, we'll get.
Oh, yeah,
props.
yeah.
We'll get some props,
Yeah.
but
Well, I'll also throw it out too. Who's the leading scorer for Arkansas on Saturday?
L. Ellis. I'm blindly betting whatever L. Ellis's prop is tomorrow. I'm blindly betting it. But I'm also just talking out of my ass completely. So
Caleb Battle.
I
and
really have no idea.
He scores like 11 again.
Yeah, Caleb Battle with 11.
dude, this team sucks, man. I'm so tired of talking about this team.
They're bad. Yeah,
we were
they're
having
bad.
fun until
I'm
we
not
started
even gonna
talking about
pick,
this team.
they might not even have a leading score.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tremont Mark. If he plays, I
Tremont
want
the
to put
Mark.
that on there. Yeah,
Well, if his migraines last an entire week, you better get him into the doctor. So hopefully he's bounced back from that.
I always forget that Curtis knows stuff about medical stuff. He used to be a
a doctor.
surgeon. Is that what the title was whenever you were at Lindenwood?
Yeah, well, like if I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express the night before, then sure. But for the
As long as
most
it wasn't,
part,
as long as
just
it wasn't one in the Des Moines.
yeah, just athletic trainer, sports
Athletic
medicine.
trainer,
I'm
yeah.
like the Matt from the basketball staff. You know, the guy that runs out there on the floor every time these guys,
He's like House.
Fall down.
house.
Every time
yeah,
they fall down.
Yeah, it's the guy from ER, George Clooney.
yeah, yeah.
It's a great day to
Absolutely.
save lives.
Other.
That's right.
Dr. McDreamy or whatever his name is
Yeah.
from whatever.
There we go.
Yeah, let's just
Yeah,
keep rolling
yeah.
with all the
Grey's Anatomy.
shows. Yeah, Grey's
Yeah.
Anatomy. There it is. Yeah, all the medical shows that are out there that are like very on point, very.
I love the
accurate.
shows that are like Med Fire PD. It's like we just need to know all of it.
All of the
Anybody, yeah, just call it 911.
Anyone
just
working-
stick with that. Like, yeah, just anything that works with extra people. So
Curtis, do you have any college hoops picks that you'd like to share?
Oh yeah. Okay. So I got two quick parlays. All right. Take them if you want to. But I thought they were cool because they're kind of relevant. Like they go back to Arkansas because it's a pretty light. Well, it's a very light slate if we're being transparent here. But yeah, I got a couple. So one of them that kind of has my attention. I got 3 teams that Arkansas played and beat in the non-conference, but I actually like all 3 of them to win. Okay, so you got UNC Wilmington. They were good. I don't know how Arkansas beat them by 16, but they did. But they're minus 160 on the money line against Northeastern. I like that. Lipscomb, who almost came all the way back and beat Arkansas in North Little Rock, they're minus 135 against Florida Gulf Coast. That's probably the one I'm least confident in. FGCU, they're not Dunk City anymore, but they're decent. But then Abilene Christian, minus 250 against Utah Tech. So you take those 3, UNC Dub, Lipscomb, Abilene Christian, plus 296. So it could be some value there. But the one I like that I'm going to do just for nostalgia's sake is kind of like an NCAA tournament run throwback from Arkansas. So if you think back to our time in Buffalo and then our time over in San Francisco.
Better days.
Vermont, New Mexico State, Gonzaga. All right. I got Vermont. They're actually a dog at UMass Lowell, which is interesting to me because they run the America East. Vermont does every single year.
Vermont is nasty.
Plus 100. Sure. Yeah, like I can get in on that. New Mexico State, I got them covering 4.5 at Sam Houston State. And then Gonzaga minus 500 on the money line against San Francisco. You take those 3, bada boom, bada bing, plus 340.
I like that.
Let's go back to the things that made us feel good about Arkansas basketball. That NCAA tournament run did, so that's why I'm putting money on this, and we'll see if it cashes.
Let's go back to the things like Buffalo, New York, that made us feel good.
That's
about
right.
being up there.
That's right.
I've got a college basketball parlay tonight too. If you want to stay up really late and watch some ball, Gonzaga minus 9.5 against San Francisco minus 110.
WCC after dark.
Gonzaga's last 4 wins. Okay. 42 points, 25 points, 27 points, 26 points.
So they're in league play now.
They've been, they're in league play.
We like these teams that are like unanimous favorites to win their conference. They always go 16-2 in conference and win by 50.
They've been beating people to sleep. Also, I think I like this. It's the second leg of a 2-leg. Arizona minus 18.5.
Looked at this
at Arizona or at Oregon State. Parlay plus 273.
Like that. Beaver Fever is no longer a thing. It hasn't been a thing since the Indianapolis bubble, and I blame John Neighbors for that. But that's a different story for a different time.
Caleb
we don't need to go
Love
into
and
that.
Umar Ballo. Give me those guys. They can cover 18.
My boy Tinkle ain't there no more, no, right?
If he is, he ain't going to be for long.
Because wasn't that the year that they fell backwards into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah,
they
randomly
4 Pac-12 wins, and
yeah.
Yep.
Made it to the Elite Eight.
My parlay I leave you folks with. Simple, same game, 3-legger. I have the Ravens to win the football game this weekend. I have Gus Edwards' thick ass to score a touchdown.
Love it.
Anytime. I also have Isaiah Pacheco to score an anytime touchdown.
Oh.
The team that's favored to win, I need them to win, and I need both starting running backs to score a touchdown. Plus 700.
Wow. Okay.
For 3 things that should happen, you know? Pacheco's the interesting one, but Pacheco runs so hard. That dude.
Yeah.
He's the guy that you can tell he's trying to cash your bets. When he's running, he's giving it his all.
He runs like he's mad at the ground.
Exactly, man. And he's not as fast as he looks. Like when he's running, you're like, oh, that dude's moving, but he gains 6 yards.
He's just getting his knees up really high.
Yeah. But I like both running backs to score a touchdown and the Ravens to win. At plus 700, I like it.
All right. Well, fellas, I would say that was, without a doubt, the best one we've done so far when it comes to our sports gambling show, because this one's going to be the one where everyone wins money.
Nailed it.
That one's unlimited.
And no one's going to let us know about it if we're wrong.
Yeah, and for everyone that wants to comment 2 days later and be like, "Oh, you guys missed all the picks," just fade us. Mm-hmm. Just fade us and see what happens.
Or how about this, buddy? Why don't you post your picks? Yeah, let's see what you did.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think during college football, we really should track it. Because there's going to be 30 games each
yeah,
weekend. I think we really
yeah.
should keep it running. And by the end of the year, I'll be
that'll be
652 and 823 or something like that. It'll be disgusting.
Yeah, we need to. But hey, that's this 3rd edition of the Natty State Sports Gambling Show. Appreciate everybody listening in. For Andrew Ellis, Scotty Borderland, Curtis Wilkerson, I'm John Neighbors. Be sure to like and subscribe to Natty State Sports, and we're going to keep it moving and have another great gambling show next week. Win some money, folks. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you then.